Hello everybody, and a warm welcome back to Quick Test Tuesday here on Sparkling Autos. Double trouble this week for episode 9 as I'm testing a combination of two products from Harpure Premium Auto Solutions, which are the Rapid 10 Multi-Purpose Cleaner and Dynamic pH Neutral SNOWFOAM. Starting off then with the Rapid 10 Multi-Purpose Cleaner, you see it says 1 to 20 to 1 to 100 for pre-wash, 20 to 200 for general cleaning, or a 1 to 10 ratio for heavy grime. So we'll take a look at the car and see which of those is going to be the most suitable option. If you've been following this series regularly, you will know that the Mini's been on quite a few times and it's been pretty filthy every time. I've mentioned that we're surrounded by a combination of farmland, construction sites, and there's just a lot of roadworks going on at the minute. At this time of year, it's just an absolute nightmare to try and keep the car clean. But as you can see today, it is particularly dirty, so this goes far beyond what I would call a maintenance clean. So we'll go in with the heavy grime option, and then we'll do the same obviously with the SNOWFOAM. So right in there it says for heavy cleaning it's 1 to 10, for maintenance 1 to 20. You'll also notice it says in both bottles that they work better when used in combination with each other. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. And just as I said, there it is. For maximum results, we recommend this product be used in conjunction with Rapid 10 as a pre-wash. So as I've made clear from the start of this series, basically this is just me using the products, simply going by the instructions on the bottle, and if the instructions say to use them together, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do that as quickly and as simply as I can. So I've got 1 litre of warm water in my pump sprayer, and I'm going to add 100 ml of product as measured in my little plastic measuring cup. So what about the scent then? Well, as you probably all know by now, I'm completely nose blind, but I did notice that it was a very pleasant smell. And upon reading the bottle, it does say it's mango infused, so I'll take their word for it, but as I said, it is a very pleasant smell, and it's a pretty cool colour. And what about the SNOWFOAM? Well, that's a scent that I can identify, because being partial to the odd cherry bakewell, I can identify a cherry smell a mile off, and that's exactly what this is. So again, we're going to measure out 450 ml of water in this case, and then add 50 ml of product, although technically 10 to 1 would have been 45 ml, but will not fall out over 5 ml. And now we're all mixed up, bottle top securely attached, we're ready to crack on. Now, some of you may remember a somewhat controversial video I did in March of this year about pre-rinsing the vehicle, and should you pre-rinse, should you not. Now obviously it's your own personal choice, but I decided after that I generally wasn't going to pre-rinse a car. However, given the amount of muck on this, I thought it wouldn't really be a fair test, as a lot of the muck on the car could, as you can clearly see, be removed with water. So having taken most of it off with fairly decent pressure, you can see that there's still quite a lot of traffic filling behind. But at least by doing this, I've removed any doubt towards the end of the video of how much of the dirt would have been removed by water alone. So now we're going to be able to see exactly what the product itself can do. And although this test is about using the products in conjunction with each other, I just want to do one panel with the multi-purpose cleaner on its own, just to see what it can do. And as you can see, the spray bottle is leaking. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the price you pay for paying a lower price. Although in my defence, I do just buy these cheaper ones from discount stores because I do so much product testing and it reduces the risk of cross-contamination, so I don't really mind if I throw one out every now and again. But that's enough waffling for one section of the video, as the product's been dwelling for nearly 3 minutes now. It looks like it's nearly dried in and I don't want to leave it much longer, so we'll get it rinsed off and just see what effect it's had. Now, I don't even think that I need to say too much here. The results speak for themselves. That has done, well, certainly done a better job than I was expecting, and I don't mean any disrespect by that. But considering it was actually dwelling for less than 3 minutes, it's had a huge impact on the traffic film on there. And if we actually compare the front and rear doors here, obviously the rear not having any product applied to it, there's a huge difference in the amount of traffic film that's been removed. Now, the front still has things like tar spots, actually quite a lot of tar spots, and pre-wash is going to remove those. But as you step back here and look, there's a massive difference there. So, first box ticked for the pre-wash. So let's get the rest of it on the lower half of the car, blanket it with the SNOWFOAM, and we'll see what these two products are like working together. Now, I know some of you might say to yourselves after seeing the pre-wash results, well, what's the point of using the SNOWFOAM? If the pre-wash is that good on its own, do we really need to apply the SNOWFOAM? Well, the issue there is the fact that, as I did observe, the pre-wash, although it says to allow it to dwell for up to 5 minutes, that was after less than 3 minutes, and I wouldn't really want it dwelling any longer than that. So if I'm rinsing off one side of the car, then the stuff on the other side is drying out. So what the SNOWFOAM will do is obviously give it more time to dwell and act on the dirt underneath, and also massively reduce the risk of the product drying out. And taking a closer look at the rear end, and you can actually see the dirt being broken down and dragged off the car. I should also point out at this stage that the wheels prior to me applying the SNOWFOAM were coated with the ANTI-KINK Automotive Cleanse, which I use as a pre-wash for my wheels before going in with the wheel shampoo. And if you're interested to know more about that, that product was actually tested 3 weeks ago in episode 6 of this series, so after this one be sure and check it out. So again here we can see the combination of the multi-purpose cleaner and the SNOWFOAM working well, so hopefully it's doing its job, but we'll find out obviously once we rinse all the product off. But in terms of dirt, I mean the state that this car was in beforehand that's pretty much as bad as it gets, certainly as bad as it gets in my driveway anyway. And just look at the absolute filth coming out of those wheels. But that's enough detail and porn for one day. Let's get the products rinsed off and just see how much effect they've had on the car. Now, you all clearly seen me pre-rinsing this door before applying the products, and it had absolutely no effect on the traffic film underneath. So let's see what effects the combination of these two products has had, having dwelled now for, what, about 5 or 6 minutes. And as was the case with the front door, I really don't even think I need to say anything, the results really do speak for themselves here. But I will quickly zip around the rest of the car and we'll have a look at a few other areas, rather than just the two doors on the driver's side of the car. I'll apologise here, the camera work was bad enough doing this with one hand, not to mention the fact that I've sped the footage up, which makes it look even worse. But again, you can see, as was the case with the side doors, pretty much everything bar tar spots is being removed here. And last but definitely not least, as anybody with a hatchback with a short overhang nose, the rear end of the car gets absolutely stinking. It's probably the worst area on the car for dirt. Doesn't matter how often you clean it or what protection you apply, this is going to be the worst part of your car every time. However, if you have good cleaning products, particularly good pre-wash products, it's not really that much of an issue if you're going to be out doing it on a regular basis. And I would add at this stage that I really was genuinely hoping these were going to be good pre-wash products. The reason being that pure shampoo from Harpure is still to this day one of my favourite shampoos. I used it in a video last year, you may remember, the autumn wash, and it's still to this day one of my go-to shampoos. So with all that being said, as I rinse off the rest of the car, including all the little spots like this that I missed, you may be surprised to hear that one of the products I used in this video, spoiler alert, is going into the bin. But before we get into that, we'll take one last look around the car just to see how much difference has been made today. I'd also like to point out at this stage, if you look at the ground, how little foam residue there is left after rinsing it all off. Now I know that's not important to everybody, but I for one don't want SNOWFOAM lying about in my driveway for 3 hours after I've washed my car. You may notice I'm not actually saying too much about the results here. It's not that I'm deliberately waffling on, I'm just kind of letting the results speak for themselves and letting you make your mind up, based on what you can see now compared to how bad a condition the car was in at the start of the video. And just remember that up to this stage there has been absolutely no contact on any part of the vehicle. This has purely been the pre-wash chemicals doing their job. So now we've all had a good look around and seen for ourselves, there's only one question left to ask. So I did say a minute ago that one of the products I used in this video was going in the bin. Well, here it is. And as for Rapid 10 and Dynamic, well, only a fool could say that these products didn't do a good enough job to justify a place on the shelves. They did, as far as I was concerned, a phenomenal job on this Mini given the state it was in beforehand, and I'd be more than happy to use them again in the future. So that's really all I have to say. I'm going to get on now with cleaning the rest of this car. Thank you very much for your time watching this video, and I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Take care.